Hey everyone, it's Kaycienikole, and today we're going to go through a mini core focused flow, working ourselves up to crow pose. So whether or not you feel comfortable doing crow pose, you can still work on the prep work and even try crow pose to the best of your ability, which will start to work that progression. So no props really needed for today, just you and your bodies. So let's get started off on our backs. As you come down into a reclined position, I'm going to go ahead and suggest to bring the soles of the feet together and just let the knees open up wide into this reclined bound angle position. And just feel the inner hips kind of rolling open here. Arms can rest anywhere that they're comfortable. And as you close your eyes, we're going to take a few breaths and just drop into our bodies a little bit more, finding more presence within our practice. So exhale, empty out your lungs, let all of your air out. Through the nose, take a slow breath in, filling all the way up from the bottom to the top. Holding at the very top of your breath. And then open up the mouth and exhale, sigh it all the way out. Again, slow breath in, filling up from the bottom to the top and expanding out in all directions. Once you come to the top of the breath, hold it, retain the breath here. And then open up the mouth and exhale, let everything go. Now this next one will keep the breath through the nose on the exhale as well. Slow inhale, filling all the way up gradually through the torso. Holding briefly at the top. And then keep the breath through the nose as you exhale, gently melt out through the chest, through the ribs, and all the way out through your belly. Now let your breath relax back a little bit, still breathing in and out of the nose. And then wiggle a little bit through the fingers and through the toes. Use your hands to the outsides of the legs to help lift the knees towards one another. Separate the feet about hips width apart and just let your knees sway side to side. Okay. As the knees come back to center, lift them up towards the chest. We're just going to kind of lubricate our hip joints a little bit here. So take your hands and just cup them over your knees. Now with the hands over the knees, let's connect the big toes together and keep them together. And then we're going to start to pull the knees towards the chest, begin to circle them out away from each other, push them forward, and then circle them back in. Pulling them to chest, circling them out, away, back in, towards the chest. And just take a couple more here. Keeping the big toes connected is that hinging point. And then switch the direction that you're going. Reverse it. Okay. Now, from here, knees back in towards the chest. We're going to warm up the core a little bit, and then we're going to warm up the core a little bit. Basically, that is the gist for today. It's going to be lots of good core warming in different ways. So first, we're going to start with a reclined crow pose. So feel your knees towards your chest. Arms begin to reach towards the ceiling. And instead of reaching directly up, palms facing up, we're going to just reach slightly forward. Okay, so we're still reaching up, but just slightly forward. So the palms are what are reaching right now. And I want you to really press through the palms, spread out through the fingers, and then begin to lift your head and your upper back off the ground. The shoulders peel up, and then press even more through the hands at that same angle, about shoulder width apart, and then separate your knees and feel your knees start to pull up towards the chest as much as you can. Maybe you even feel the knees pull all the way up to the triceps or even into the armpits. It's okay for the hips to curl up. I want you to really feel the rounding of your back, pressing. Squeeze your feet towards your glutes. Activate your core, holding here for 3, 2, 1. Relax, hug the knees to the chest, sway side to side. Okay, let's do that one more time. Arms reach up, spread the fingers, palms are reaching away. Bring the knees towards the chest, connect the big toes, and then lift your head and shoulders and upper back off the ground as you round it and curl it. Hands are pressing slightly forward. Keep the big toes connected. Feel the knees start to pull up towards the arms, maybe towards the armpits. Squeeze the feet towards the glutes as you press round. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Relax. Hug the knees to your chest. Sway side to side. Okay. Now, as you come back to center, hold the backs of your thighs. We're going to rock forward and back a few times here. Now, on your next round, we're going to try to come up and hover the feet above the ground. Okay, if the feet touch down, it's okay. You can just work here trying to find a balance point with the feet lifting. Otherwise, feet lifted, try to bring your calves parallel with the ground, lifting up through your spine. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and try to pull your thighs closer towards your body as your spine lifts up, drawing up through the crown. Maybe hands reach forward. Deep breath. Try to decrease the space between your thighs and your torso as your crown lifts taller. Nice deep breath here. Now, go ahead and hover the feet right above the ground. Arms reach forward. Palms forward, fingers up, spread out wide. Now begin to separate the knees and try to squeeze the knees up into the arms. Squeeze the feet towards the floor without them touching. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax, feet to the ground, arms wrap around the fronts of the shins or the backs of your thighs and just let your spine round over. Couple deep breaths here. Coming all the way back up, find a cross-legged seat for now. We're just going to feel a little bit into the shoulders. Interlace your fingers, flip the palms down, and reach them forward in front. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, you're going to press forward through the palms, round your upper back. Inhale, you're going to lift your spine, pull your shoulder blades back as you broaden across the front of your chest. And then exhale, press and round. Inhale, open, shoulders retract. One more time, exhale, press. And now on your inhale, pull them back, open up through the front of your chest, holding here an extra breath. Inhale, reach the arms all the way over your head, lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale, relax your shoulders down. Inhale, lift shoulder blades up towards the ears. Hug them up as high as you can. And exhale, relax them down. One more time. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, relaxing them. Go ahead and bend your elbows, pull the elbows wide. And as you sweep the arms all the way down to the sides, let's roll the shoulders forward and up. And exhale, roll them all the way back and down. We're going to come into a tabletop position. So find your way onto all fours, however it feels best for you. And with your fingers spread out as wide as they comfortably can on the ground, try to stack your shoulders over your wrists. And let's just find some circles here over the wrists. Nice circular motions. And as you do, squeeze through the fingertips and squeeze through the base of your fingers. Let's switch directions, moving now in that opposite circular motion. All right. And then slowly bring it back to center. Walk the hands a little closer towards your knees, as close as you'd like. Flip the palms up so the tops of the hands come down to the ground. And then you can stay here, just letting the tops of your hands sink down, or maybe even leaning a little bit of your weight back so you intensify that stretch and opening. One more breath. Coming forward, flip the palms back down. And then one hand at a time, just kind of lift, shake it out. Other side. Nice. Go ahead and reconnect your hands back down to the ground. We're just going to do some cat-cows here for a moment to loosen up the spine and the hips. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, you're going to round your back into your cat, chin to your chest, tail tucks under. Really press your hands and your knees, lifting the navel to the spine. Inhale, drop the belly down. Scoop your heart forward and up. Lift up through your sit bones. And exhale, round. Curl, press. Inhale, open. Exhale, press, and round. Go ahead and take a couple more on your own, finding your own rhythm of breath and movement. And then make your way back into a nice neutral spinal positioning. We're going to make our way into plank position so you can adjust on your mat until you can lengthen your legs back and find nice active quads here. So your quads engage and feel the reaching from your heels all the way forward to the crown of your head. Feel free to add some movement here. You can rock forward and back. You can find some circles. The knees can always drop down to the ground. In fact, we'll take that here in a couple breaths anyway. Now, from here, start to shift some weight forward and then drop the knees to the ground. So you're in this modified plank position. Notice if your hips are pulled back over the knees like tabletop. Try to bring them more forward so you're actually creating a plank shape from your knees all the way to the crown. We're going to go through some chaturanga push-ups. And as we do, focus on bending the elbows in instead of out to the side. With a nice long plank, take a deep breath in and exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale up. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale up, 2 more. Exhale, lower half. Inhale up. Exhale, lower half. Inhale up. Quick child's pose. Sink the hips towards the heels. Relax your spine. Feel the arms melting down towards the ground. Give yourself just a couple breaths here. Slowly start to work your way back up into a nice tabletop position. And then we're going to come back up into our planks. So as you come into your plank, we're just going to focus on trying to draw knees towards triceps. So we're strengthening into the core, strengthening into our hip flexors. So take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, draw your right knee towards your right elbow, armpit, or tricep, as close as you can. And then step it back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, left knee, left arm. Inhale, step it back. Exhale, right knee, draw it forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, left knee. Inhale, step back. Exhale, right. Inhale, step back. Exhale, left. 2 more rounds, both sides. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale, drop the knees. Exhale, sink back, child's pose. Soften. Relax. If you need to release some excess tension, just open up the mouth and let it go. Two more nice deep breaths. Let's come back up, tabletop position. Now we're going to make our way back into plank, but what we're going to do is we're going to use it to focus on the pressing through the hands, the rounding of the back, and also we'll start to sink into more hip opening to prepare for crow pose. So make your way back into plank. Press your hands, round your upper back and shoulders. Now, as you press, keep the weight in your hands. That's the most important part. Squeeze through the hands and fingertips. Come up onto your tippy toes. Pike the hips up. Now, as you press and round your back, keep it rounded. Walk your tippy toes in as much as you can. Keep the weight in your hands. Once you feel like you can't walk in anymore while keeping the full weight in your hands, you can stop. Separate the feet the width of the mat. Set the heels down and drop the hips into a squat position. You can walk the hands back to sink back into the feet. Toes are turned out. Hands can stay down, but you can also join the hands together. Heart center. Elbows guiding the thighs open. Feel free to sway a little bit here, side to side. Okay. Now we're going to work that transition a few more times, feeling ourselves kind of come forward and back. And this will be our entry point into a crow pose. So, hands come down. If you need to walk them forward for more space, you can. Lean towards the hands, lift the hips, come up onto the tippy toes, and walk them back. Think downward dog. Now start to lift high onto your toes. Weight stays in your hands as you look forward. Walk your tippy toes in. Round your upper back. Press to the shoulders. Once you can walk in no more, separate the feet. Toes turn out. Drop the heels. Sink in. Squat. Heart lifts up. Take a breath. And then hands come down. Lean in. Lift the hips up. Lift the heels. Press to the hands. Walk your tippy toes back. Downward dog. Inhale up onto the toes. Press to the hands. Look forward. Walk the tippy toes in. Press, 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 press. Separate the feet. Open them up. And sink the hips down. Squat. Hands can come together at heart. One extra breath. Hands come down. Lean in. Hips lift up. Lift the heels. Walk the feet back. Press to the hands. Downward facing dog. Last one. We're going to come into crow pose. Come up onto the toes. Walk the tippy toes forward. Press to the hands. Now, you can start to bend the knees. Walk the tippy toes in a little bit more, the balls of the feet. Keep the heels lifted. Try to keep the hips high. Don't let them sink down too low. As they stay high, bending the elbows back slightly towards the legs. You can always open up the feet. You can walk them back or forward. You're going to start to bring the knees to the backs of the arms. As you do, it's okay to sink the hips low for a minute. Feel out the placement. Once you find the placement of your knees to the backs of the arms, then you're going to start to come up onto the tippy toes. Lift the hips. Bring your weight over your hands. Squeeze to the fingertips. Lean forward and then look forward. As you lean forward, lift one foot to the glute. Keep leaning forward until you feel the other foot hover. Connect the big toes and squeeze them to the glutes. If the other foot doesn't lift, just lean in and then switch sides, lifting the other foot. Wherever you are, one more breath. So you can either step back, take child's pose, or if you're in crow, look forward, lean forward as you shoot the legs back. Plank, drop the knees, child's pose. Settle in, open up the mouth, sigh out a few times. Let go of some of that heat. Two more here. Slowly come forward, tabletop position, and let's sweep the legs around. Make your way into a comfortable cross-leg seat. And as you do, you're going to take your hands, bring them to the ground in front of you, and see if we can flip the palms up, set the tops of the hands to the ground. Even if they don't connect all the way down, just work here trying to curl the wrist towards the floor. One more breath. Releasing as you sink back into your hips. Interlace your fingers. Find some nice little figure eights here. And then release. Shake out the hands. Alrighty. Join your hands together at heart center. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Open up the mouth and let it go. Deep breath in. Open up the mouth and release. Take a moment to just pause. Settle into this bit of stillness. Feel the energy within your body. And if you want to maintain some of this energy, we're not taking Shavasana today so that you can keep this energy and continue to work on whatever it is that you're working on in your practice. Otherwise, we're letting this energy start to slowly ground down, relaxing it all the way into our bellies and then down into our roots and releasing that energy all the way down into the earth below. Feeling more connected and more calm. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide. Much love and gratitude from me to you. Thank you, thank you. You can open up your eyes whenever you're ready. Whew, that was a little zinger. So got my heart rate up definitely in such a short amount of time. So hopefully you're feeling all that good, invigorating energy. And like mentioned, maybe you want to use this energy now to play, or maybe you're like, I'm good, I'm done for the day. Perfect. Enjoy. I would love your feedback as always, and looking forward to having you again soon. Thank you.